All right, so we are going to be learning about using contour line with landscapes. So the first thing you're going to do is grab a pencil and start sketching some of your main shapes. Do not worry about all the details within. Just get some of those like major shapes that you see. This is going to come down. And I picked these really fun shapes because they show the contours of the form really well. So I have this one. I have another one that comes up here. It's further back. And it kind of comes down there. Okay. And then this one kind of comes out front. Then you have this other one back here. There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, and then I also have some ground that is closer. It's gonna come out there. And then we have some super far away ones. Just doing some of the main shapes. And then we have another kind of like line here and some other shapes. And just to make this a little bit quicker for you, I'm just gonna show you how to add line work to this first shape in the beginning. Okay, so before I start in with my pen, I'm just gonna kind of put in some of these vertical lines. This one kind of comes up. This is another one that kind of comes up, comes back down. And I'm not doing all of them because I can add that in later. Just gonna put like a little shelf, a couple of these areas. And this is nice because you see really like the cross contours, and you see both cross contours of going to side and up and down. There's some little guys right there. Almost there. There's some lines in here. Okay, so for this, I would take your Sharpie first and trace over some of your main lines. Okay, and then I'm gonna do some of these vertical lines that I have going on. This is one of the main horizontal ones. So you get some of the main shapes going on here. You have some of these little ones. And some of them, it's a landscape, so if it's not exactly the same, it's, not as important as if it was, say, like a portrait or a picture of somebody's dog. You want that to look just like them. And a landscape, if it's a little different here or there, no big deal. Okay, so I think I have most of the main lines in there. Now, I would do the whole rest of it, but for time, I'm just doing this shape for you to see, but just we'll start over here. So what I want you to look at is how the lines are formed here. So these here are fairly straight. They kind of start to curve in a little bit because it looks like it might be a tiny bit concave, but they're pretty straight for the most part. So I'm gonna come in and I'm doing those lines. Okay, and then this next part has a couple little ripples, so the lines might start here and then come here, where you can see where they kind of come up a little bit. Same with some of these up here have some little ridges, so your lines can start and then they can come out if they stick out, where you can see where those lines meet and how they move. And these have a ton of those little lines. And this is something that it could take a long time to get all the detail down. What I don't want to see is just random lines here and there. Some of these do look kind of random, but I'll show you with this round shape here. There are some little crevices, so what you can do is kind of have those round lines wrap around that shape. to show that it is round. And these lines then also will continue here, where this part's a little bit flatter. So you'll be able to see these lines come in, and then they curve around this form. There's a bunch that kind of come down here, but you'll see lines on both sides. So again, this is something that could take a very, very long time. But I do want you to take your time to look at where things curve, because if you were just doing this with random, like, you want this to look three-dimensional. And then you'll see when these are all curved too, and you have some of these straighter lines coming in here on the ground, it will truly show how some of those shapes just kind of come up what seems with where it looks like it could be actual ground. And yeah, this is actually kind of relaxing. So I'm going to focus on this little part here to show you how this line kind of behaves. So this is going to show that on this picture plane, or on this like little mountain thing, how these lines are going to describe the shape of it, because it's not just flat. It kind of comes out, it's like a little more jagged. So you could just even draw those lines and then follow them and add these. And again, this does take a while, so don't rush it. Take your time to study the shape. It'll get easier as you go. Again, here you can kind of see there's like a little bit where it kind of comes out in some of those spots. So I might show that. Pay attention to how these lines interact. And you can always go in and thicken up some of these thin lines too to make some stand out, where you can see there's like some darker spots in here. And you can illustrate those. So I'm gonna keep working on this, and I'll show you what it looks like after I put some time into it. But have fun drawing. Hope this helped a little bit.